This is the 13th lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will talk about further about content briefs. Anything that is where you can see is coming from this part. And without proper understanding of query processing or query semantics, it's not even possible to create the topical maps. You need properly understand how search engine reads, process, understand, associate, and cluster the search term and the search queries in a really structured way. Then it's way much easier to create. For deeply understanding of the query, you should need to read this specific presentation that is coming from Koray. It's basically about the query parsing and the query understanding. For example, here you can see that these are basically different knowledge domains. So basically, the knowledge domain is the specific topic that contains the specific queries, the specific entity, the specific domains that work in. For more easiest way, you can check about that the understanding of a specific industry, discipline, or activity. So these domains are the specific contextual domains. For example, if you are in a domain knowledge domain 1 and you want to go in a knowledge domain 6, you will need to touch these knowledge domain 7 and these specific small knowledge domains. The distance between domain 1 and the domain 6 is the semantic distance in between them, and these are small knowledge domains. First of all, here you need to filter the queries. For example, you can see here in all queries the entity Germany. Rest all are the attributes. One entity and one attribute. Germany Lake is attribute and the German is entity. Now we are able to verbalize these queries with a certain type of context. Now challenge here is which query or which attribute pair is the most important and how we can filter. One more time we can look our source context. This content brief is basically the visa consultancy agency. Now for example, the company who had the visa consultancy agency, the league is not relevant to them because German football league is not relevant to our source context. So we can skip it and we did not make the question from it. Here the population, this is the very main and important attribute in the context of this specific topical map or the source context. That's why here we create the question from it because we need to create or increase gradually overall relevance and weight in our contextual vector so that we can increase overall relevance. In the next lecture, we will talk about the attribute criteria, how we filter attributes of entities for a content brief creation. It helps you to understand how we clean the queries that you will be focusing on.